Well, good afternoon, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from beautiful Lake LBJ, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, purposeful coach and speaker in the world. One of the things that I hope to do when I create these videos is demonstrate a couple things. Number one is living by example is probably the most powerful thing anybody can do. There's a lot of people who teach certain subjects, and yet finding people who are actually living the things that they teach and maximizing those things in their lives is more difficult to find. So that's why I'm kind of posting what's going on in this family planning weekend. You know, it occurred to me that our family has experienced some pretty exciting personal growth and personal development moments and seasons and times, probably significantly above average for most people. And it's primarily because we're very intentional. Hey, Angela, come and say hi for just a second.
Hi.
Come say hi over here in the camera for just a minute. Can you talk just a little bit real quick about how we're being intentional about this personal growth and personal development weekend and what you had on your mind when you chose to do this?
Pretty much, I think we do a lot of things, and I would say that for the most part, if we really think about it, we do a lot of good things, intentional things for other people, whether it be coworkers or people that we are around or people that maybe you manage or people that you help out. And I think sometimes I don't want to say neglect, but we don't necessarily put that much time and effort into the ones around us. I think we sometimes take them for granted. So I know it's kind of...
It's a really good point. Like with our family, here's the thing, and it's not so much that I think that we take them for granted so much. Let's just switch the tables on that. Ella, don't get upset when I say this. But Jesus said it this way. It's interesting. You know, when he walked through his hometown, all the miracles he was performing and everything he did, it says when he walked through his own hometown, he couldn't perform any miracles. And it wasn't because he didn't have any power, and it wasn't because he didn't have authority, it wasn't because he didn't have the ability. It was because they were familiar with him. They were familiar. They're like, this is the dude that built my table and chairs. This is Joseph and Mary's son. Who does this guy think he is? And Jesus said, I tell you the truth, a prophet is only without honor in his own hometown and in the members of his own household, which means sometimes when you're so familiar with somebody, you lose the ability to hear their voice. And so I know with our children, we've got to be very intentional. We live as best as we can by example in front of our kids, and yet it's really hard to create a space where our kids are very receptive and open to events like this, where we want to teach and we want to talk about what it is that we've learned. And so we just trust God for the grace to plant seeds, and we use wisdom, right?
So we're just seed planting, and we're keeping it very simple. Like, we're going to be here maybe 4 or 5 days, and so we're literally just blocking out the mornings. An hour and a half, we told them no more than 2 hours. And then really it depends on how crazy they want to act or not.
Yeah, so this could take an hour or it could take 10, depending on if y'all are cooperative or not.
Yes, because they're kind of fun and just, they crack jokes and they mess around with each other. So it's not how we would envision it, and yet it is awesome.
It is. It's awesome. So I'm going to wrap up with this. There are 2 catalysts that will cause you to do what we are demonstrating and modeling so that other people can learn and choose to do it with their own families. And this is something that we do teach and will continue to teach in the Voice of One coaching program when it comes to the family wheel of life and the personal part of the wheel of life. And that is, the 2 catalysts are this. You will either make massive change when you are inspired through inspiration, by seeing somebody else do something that you say, golly, I think we should do that. I think we could do that. I think that's something that could really help us out. That seems to be working for them. I think I'll give that a shot. Inspiration is one catalyst. The other catalyst is desperation. Desperation is when you find your kid locked up somewhere, or something terrible has happened, or what my parents went through, challenges that I experienced when I was growing up as a teen. And so you're either going to be moved to change by inspiration or desperation. Here's the difference. Desperation is a mean taskmaster which holds all the cards, and you're completely out of control when it comes to finances and when it comes to your time frame. You completely lose everything. What did you say, Ella?
Talk louder. It says
okay, talk louder. You're completely outside of your ability to control or manage the situation when you're in desperation, because desperation will show up in your front door, and at that point it's too late. So ladies and gentlemen, you can either pour in an ounce of prevention daily, or you're going to have to give out a pound of cure when you arrive at desperation. So any final words when it comes to encouraging people to invest time in their kids and family?
Just do it. I would say just do it, and no matter what the age range is, because like we have a couple adults in our home still, and then we have as young as an 11-year-old. So I know sometimes the thoughts can be, oh, they're too old, or we should have done this then. It's like it doesn't really matter. It's like what we focus on is going forward rather than, thinking about we could have done this, should have done this, coulda, shoulda, woulda. It's like just go it, just do it.
Yeah, it's never too late to start. No matter how old your kids are, it's better to start now and impart something rather than never start because you just give up and think that it's too late. It's never too late. When people say God's right on time, well, they forget Lazarus was dead and stinking for 3 days before Jesus showed up. All right? So his timing is not always our timing, and he can take dead things and make them new again. We hope you guys are inspired by the things we choose to do and the work that we choose to put into our family and our kiddos, and hope that you choose to do the same so that desperation doesn't become the catalyst, right?
Yeah.
All right. Love y'all.